I'm going to walk you through what I've figured out of Sky is a Landfill by Jeff Buckley. The whole point of this, though, is to encourage you to use your ear. Can you hear the same notes and fingerings on your guitar that I can hear? And does my logic make sense? So we're going to start off by getting in the correct tuning, which is drop D. So you should have D, A, D, G, B, and then E. So firstly, the intro. We've got something along the lines of the first thing I noticed was that there is a high E droning out. That gives you a little clue, and then you think, well, right, well, there's a high E droning out, then we must be using the B string in some way. So I needed to find the notes that were on the B string that would go with that. Okay, well, there's definitely another note knocking about, so what's going to join those notes? And through a little bit of trial and error, and then if you put those things that you figured out together, and it was that drony high E that made me, because the first thing I was worrying about was, all right, well, what tuning is it in? The droning high E gave me a clue that it wasn't in open D or open G, and I thought it's got to be in drop D because of how sort of baggy sounding some of the other chords are later on. And then we're going to do our first one finger power chord, because we're in drop D, we can have fun with that. We can go to the 9th fret, we're going to go, then we're going to go to the 6th fret, and we're going to go, and then we're going to get some other fingers involved. So we're going to do the equivalent of that on the 5th fret, but using our every finger apart from our index, because our index is going to go on the 4th fret of the G string, which is a B note, so you can let the B note ring out as well. So as I say, there's lots of ringing out nice juicy notes that just intrigue your ear when you're listening to it. That's why these songs are so goddamn magical, I swear. It's these drones. So you go. And then we're into the chords for the verses. It might take a minute to get your fingers around this, however, it's worth it. We're going to use our middle finger on the 7th fret on the D string, index on the 5th fret of the G, ring finger on the 7th of the B, and your little finger is going to go down on the 8th fret on the high E string, but you're not going to play it yet. You want to play the meat of the chord, and then you're going to throw that in a second. So rather than right away, you're going to go, introduce it to in you know, the next part of the bar. So you go, you're throwing some flavour in after you've introduced the chord. And then you're going to go to an E minor 7, which is a bar chord with the root on the A string, so it's up here at the 7th fret. So you're barring across the 7th, and your ring finger is on the 9th, and you're on the D string. Middle finger is on the 8th on the B, and it's and that is a fit chord if ever there was one. So you go. And then we're back here, we're going to go middle finger, 7th fret on the D, index 5th, and then we've got on the B and the E, we're on the 7th fret. And then you're going to take it down to, it's a partial bar G chord, isn't it? Because we're going to bar on the 3rd fret, just a mini bar there, and then get these other fingers up here. Just to finish that measure put together. That's as follows. Like that. And after you've done that a couple of times, you can go to this that thing you did in the intro, which is 9th fret, one finger power chord on the here. We're gonna go. So 9 to the 6 to this 5th fret one. Those strings ringing out, and then you're into 2 chords that you're going to repeat for a little bit for the rest of it. An open D chord, which would normally be just the the top 4 strings. Because we're in drop D, we can make full advantage of this meaty A string and the even meatier low D. So you can go. There's that whole joy of drop D. So we're going to do this normal D chord, but with the extra strings. And the second chord would be as if you were going to do an open G chord, but not playing the low E string, not fretting the low E string rather, because it's tuned down to D, and we're just going to leave it open. So we are going to play all of the strings, but the low D is going to be open, and the rest of it's going to be the rest of your G chord. So you got, and you alternate between them two. So you're going to go. And that takes you into the bit, which is a beautiful little riff. I'm going to go low E, no, it's a D. So the lowest D we're going to open. Then you go 3 on the A, 4 on the D. Then you're going to put your index finger on the 2nd fret for a B note, 2 frets up on the G string. Get a finger down, use your ring finger. I'm using my little finger because that's what I'm most used to. So the rest of the strings are muted, so just use whatever fleshy bit of finger you've got going on down here so they don't ring out. You're going to go. So you kind of play it once, and then on the second time you play the B chord, you're going to slide up to the 5th fret with your index finger. And then you're sliding that up to the 9th. All the while, your little finger or your index are going to be 2 frets above on the G string. So it's the same shape, just moved up. So you take another drag. That happens there. And then you've got another verse that comes in. And then you get back to this. It does that a couple of times, doesn't it? And then it comes back in with that dirty riff that's like, which is nice, so I'll show you that now. So this is all on the A string. Add some grit if you must. I'm not going to because I'm just not. I'm going to show you it clean. So you're going to go on the 4th fret on the A string. 5th fret on the A string. So you're going to 4, 5, 4, 5. And you go 2, open, 2, 2, open. So don't worry about thrashing and hitting some other open strings. It doesn't matter if you hit them and they ring out for a second or whatever, because it's thrashy, it's cathartic, and we love it. So just get involved, like lose your mind to it, but yeah. It just doesn't matter, because it's chewy, and we like chewy chords and chewy drony notes. Oh yeah, after it's done that, you clean again, and you're going to do something along the lines of. Yeah, so you've got a riff that does this. Again, we're droning on the D string this time, I think. And on the G string, we're doing 6, 4, 2, 4, 2, and an open. So it's like. And just let those strings ring out, because it's, again, you want them there. The next riff is, we're coming up to like one of the last riffs that we need now. So the next riff is again, you're probably going to be quite dirty for this. You want to put some grit on it, but you want something along the lines of. Something like that. So that's, again, we're using the D string to drone, and we're starting on the 6th fret on the G string again, but instead of going down with the, we're going 6 to 7 to 9. Almost immediately after 9, you're going up to 11. So, and then I think I quite like bending it. You could fret it, but I think I prefer bending it. So bending up to that 12th note. And then the only other bit I think to share off the top of my head now that I've started recording is that still recording? I think it's still recording. It's the middle 8, isn't it? That's what they call it. And we're doing these chords that we've done before where we're using these 3 fingers on the lowest strings on the 5th fret, index finger on the 4th on the G, drop that shape down 1 fret, and then you could do the next chord here on the 7th fret, but I think I prefer doing it down here, but it's an A chord anyway, so you can either there at the 7th or like I've done in the tab, and then you're going to be going between the open D and then an E. I think it's that, isn't it? It's open 2 2 open 2. So you go. Dun, dun, dun. And then you have same chord to start the next section, which is the. Sorry, my leg's in the way there, isn't it? It's probably a really bad angle, but. And then we're going to go up to the 8th fret for a 1-finger one. And the reason I'm going to use my index finger for that is because the next chords are going to get our little finger involved, and we need them to be up this end of the neck. At the dusty end of the fretboard, as it were, just not with Jeff Buckley songs. So we've gone for the start of the middle 8, and to that A chord. Yeah, this is a bugger to do because it's a bit of a stretch. Again, if you have a better way of playing this, please let me know, but I've got it as a bar across the lowest strings on the 5th fret with our index finger. Middle finger, I think, should be on the 7th fret on the G string, and our little finger, the poor bugger, is down here on the 9th fret on the high E. And I'm muting the B string because that has no business here right now, I don't think. And then you're back into this D, G thing where you're like. And I think if you sellotape all of those bits together, after practicing them and getting your head around them, you should have the whole song, or at least all of the sections, to put that song together for yourself. I want to know how you get on, and are you hearing the same drone notes that I am? Because that's how I start to work. So what notes am I hearing? Because the other notes are never going to be that far away in a chord. Like they're going to be grouped around somewhere. So that's how I kind of go about figuring out how to play stuff. But if you've got a different way of playing it, please let me know, because I love this song. It's amazing. Bye.